This is the second part of the lecture on peripheral nervous system. As we know, the peripheral nervous system is composed of all the nervous tissue which lies outside of the central nervous system. It mainly consists of two main types of nerves, the cranial nerves and the spinal nerves. During last lecture, we talked about the cranial nerves. In this lecture, we are going to discuss about the spinal nerves. The spinal nerves arise from the spinal cord. There are 31 pairs of spinal nerves. They are numbered from top to bottom, and they are named according to the vertebral region from which they arise. There are 8 pairs of cervical nerves, 12 pairs of thoracic nerves, 5 pairs of lumbar nerves, 5 pairs of sacral nerves, and 1 pair of cochlear nerves. When we are considering the spinal nerves, there is a couple of spinal nerves at each level of the spinal cord. For example, at the level of T1, we can see the right T1 spinal nerve and the left T1 spinal nerve. So, each of these spinal nerves connects to the spinal cord via two roots. These roots form a series of rootlets when they are attaching to the spinal cord. The two roots are called the ventral root and the dorsal root. The ventral root arises from the anterior horn and contains motor fibers. The dorsal root contains sensory fibers, and the cell bodies of these neurons are located in the dorsal root ganglion. The ventral root and the dorsal root of each spinal nerve combine with each other and form a single spinal nerve on each side. So, the spinal nerve then branch into 4 main branches. Those are posterior ramus, anterior ramus, meningeal branch, and rami communicans. They innervate different parts of the body. In this picture, you can see how each spinal nerve divides into different branches. What is a nerve plexus? It is a network of nerves. After each spinal nerve exits from the vertebral column, it divides into many branches, and branches of nearby spinal nerves get together and form a nerve network. It is called nerve plexus. Within the nerve plexus, the axons of different spinal nerves get together and mix together, and finally they form several nerves which arise from each network. The resulting nerves of each network contain fibers from several spinal nerves. These fibers then travel to the periphery, or the muscles and the organs of the body, through different routes. There are 4 main types of plexus in our body: the cervical plexus, brachial plexus, lumbar plexus, and sacral plexus. The spinal nerves from T2 to T12 do not form plexus. So because of this formation of plexus, each muscle of the body receives a nerve supply from more than one spinal nerve. The importance of this is that if one spinal segment got damaged, then that particular muscle do not completely get paralyzed. In this picture, you can find the 4 main plexus of our body: the cervical plexus, brachial plexus, lumbar plexus, and sacral plexus. Actually, the ventral rami, or the ventral branch of each spinal nerve, contribute for the formation of plexus. The cervical plexus is formed by ventral rami of C1 to C4 spinal nerves. Most branches of this cervical plexus are cutaneous nerves of the neck, ear, back of the head, and shoulders. The most important nerve of the plexus is phrenic nerve. The phrenic nerve is the major motor and sensory nerve which innervates the diaphragm. In this picture you can see how the cervical plexus is formed. The brachial plexus is formed by C5 to C8 spinal nerves and T1 spinal nerve. It gives rise to the nerves which innervate the upper limb. This picture gives you the idea how this brachial plexus is formed. The lumbar plexus arises from the spinal nerves from L1 to L4. The lumbar plexus innervates the thigh, abdominal wall, and the psoas muscle. The major nerves which arise from lumbar plexus are the femoral nerve and the obturator nerve. This image gives you the idea how this lumbar plexus is formed. Just to get an idea, you don't have to remember how it is formed. The sacral plexus is formed by the branches of spinal nerves of L1 to S4. The sacral plexus innervates the buttock, lower limb, pelvic structures, and the perineum. The major nerve which arises from the sacral plexus is the sciatic nerve. The sciatic nerve is the longest and thickest nerve of the body. So this is a summary about the nerve plexus.